Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ruin Runners, Episode 8, the finale. This will be the final episode of the actual story of Ruin Runners. Then next week we have the wrap up. So, without further ado, let us get do our introductions and then pick up where we left off. So, for this episode, we have Mole playing Cardin Foulpel and his dog Krull.
I'm back, baby.
We have Jim playing Phineas Umberdon.
Greetings.
Boo!
I don't know why it's funnier when one person does. And we have Wifeblade playing Arla Sheris.
Present.
See, Jim, I did cheer someone.
Yeah.
But you'll notice it wasn't you.
All
It's
right,
not me, it's you.
All right, so we pick up at the end of the cave where the group has just run into the druid that has been relaying some of the quests to them as he stands in front of them. After planting his staff in the ground, he looks at them. Warriors, you have been betrayed. He then looks at them each in turn.
Does this mean we're not going to get paid?
He smiles. No, don't worry. You've still received your money and you will get money for this job. Just some of the jobs you've been on, your buddy Cardan suspected foul play, and he came to get me so we could look in on it. He then motions to his right, and Cardan and Krull appear.
Hey, guys.
Greetings. Glad to see your intuition's paid off.
Yes, well, he's gone over with me some of the things, and we think we've figured out what's going on here. But first, before we do, he looks over at the changeling. Pake, please go back to the guild and retrieve some of their mages. I think we're going to need all the help we can get. Pake looks at the group, nods, and then runs off. So looking back at the things that you have procured for various people, there was a sealed magic book, and unfortunately that had instructions on how to become a lich, and which is not easy to use on its own, but there's apparently some ink that you got at some point that was magical, and using that for the contract makes the whole process significantly easier.
A lich? Oh, fuck.
Unfortunately, yes.
Phineas mutters an elven profanity under his breath.
Well, this could be fun.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so, because it's better than the alternative. He motions to the group. Quickly, to the ritual site. The group heads off to go to where the ritual is taking place. When they first come up to the area, they see a door that has been unlocked and open. On the ground nearby is a familiar-looking key.
Son of a bitch.
That's, what, 4 so far? This is getting ridiculous.
The druid looks down at the key. Was that the one that you had
Stolen from
difficulty
us by-
acquiring?
Yeah,
That's
stolen from us by the thief.
Doug.
Well, then he must have been in on it too. Quickly inside. The group runs inside and comes to a large circular room. This one is filled with many zombies, all of whom look hungry and start moving toward the group.
Okay, what's the plan?
Well, we could try to wade through them or, kill ourselves a path. I'm not seeing a whole lot of options here.
Killing sounds good. I like killing.
Killing is good, but do be careful, all the sheriffs. I'll remind you, your shield is still damaged.
They're zombies. I don't think I need to worry about the shield. I think I need to worry about my sword losing its edge.
You have magic spells. Can't you heal her shield?
It's an enchanted shield.
Have you ever tried to heal anything with a dragon enchantment on it?
Enchantment?
Never mind.
Okay.
Let's just say my shield is magic. It is enchanted, and unfortunately, it's not enchanted against minotaurs, so it's a little damaged right now.
Minotaurs? The druid looks at her.
Yeah, long story. We were sent to clear out that tunnel, and that's what was blocking it. Go figure.
That is a very effective roadblock.
Oh, I miss all the fun.
Indeed.
He says as he takes an arrow and puts it into his bow and pulls it back ready to fire at a zombie.
Well, no time like the present. Tell me
I'd say
then.
so. Phineas
Go ahead.
Phineas pulls a book out of his bag, opens it in his left hand, and lights a fireball in his right. Shall we do this?
Arliss draws her sword. Oh yeah, let's kill some zombies.
Releases his arrow.
Plunges into the skull of a zombie, who then drops down. All right. The druid jumps into a group and starts swinging his staff, hitting several in the head and then sweeping low to knock a few more off their feet.
Phineas rolls a fireball toward another group, knocking them off their feet with the fire and burning them.
Arliss charges a third group, yelling madly and swinging her sword, decapitating zombies left and right.
Puts a few arrows into his bow at once and lifts it up into the air, firing it up to rain down arrows.
The druid sticks his staff through one of the zombies and heaves him up over his head into another group to at least knock them down and buy some more time.
Arliss charges around like a mad thing, swinging her sword and laughing hysterically. Zombie heads everywhere!
Phineas, attempting a previously effective strategy, blasts a portion of the floor with ice magic and then blows zombies backwards. They slide across and crash into the wall, falling apart.
Nice shot.
Same to you, that rain of arrows was effective.
And thank you.
And 1 and 2 and 3 and more zombie heads. Arliss dances around, decapitating zombies, giggling.
Phineas leans to Cardan. You know, I wonder about her sometimes.
Yep. I wonder if she's actually killing them or if she's pretending they're all the changeling.
Who knows? Who knows?
Watching her dance around madly, the druid remarks, "It's almost like we don't need to be here." "Oh well, I've got an idea," he says and chants a spell. Vines come up out of the ground and gather a group of zombies all together. "Librarian, use your fire magic!"
On it! Phineas throws a fireball at the bound zombies.
They are reduced to charred ash. "Good job," he says.
Same to you.
Eyeing the effective strategy from the half-dragon paladin, the druid gets another idea. "Well, it's been a while since I've done this." He then shapeshifts into the form of a bear and runs forward and begins clawing a group of zombies.
Whoa! I
Woo!
didn't know he could do that.
Rangers. Shape changers are cool.
At last, we have an effective one.
I find myself wanting to sing fish heads.
As he's swinging around, a zombie jumps onto his back and grabs on. Drew begins swinging around, trying to get it off.
Leave the bear alone! Arliss screams as she dashes across the room, leaping to tackle the zombie off the bear's back.
The bear looks at her and nods, thanking her for the effort. He then rushes into another group, clawing them.
Phineas bowls some more fireballs at some more zombies, taking them out.
Good job, kid.
Okay, this is fun, but seriously, how many zombies are there?
I remind you, this is supposedly leading to a lich. Zombies are kind of to be expected in large quantities here.
Yeah, but what did you do? Empty every single cemetery in the country in order to make this many? Jeez, I'm gonna start tripping over zombie heads in a minute.
It does seem to be an unusual amount.
As she's talking, a large zombie knocks over the paladin.
Off! Ka!
As it looms over her, the bear crashes into it, knocking it to the floor. As he does so, he reverts back into his druid form. Ugh, now we're even. He then looks at her. Turn undead! Can you turn undead, please? That'll help.
Thanks for the save, but I don't have that spell.
He looks at her incredulously. What?
Yeah, I can't turn undead. I'm not that kind of paladin. You know what? It is rude to ask a lady about her patron deity. Arliss gets back to her feet, picks up her sword, and points it at the druid. That's just plain rude. Then she turns back to killing zombies.
The druid stands up and picks up his staff. I guess so. He then turns around and starts hitting more zombies.
Takes another shot at one of the zombies.
The room is mostly cleared at this point, and they can see another hallway leading further on.
We did it. We seem to have actually won.
Good job. Of course, it's not over yet, but I think, we should get out while the getting's good and try to finish this.
Agreed.
Agreed. Arliss wipes her sword and gets rid of the zombie guts on the corpse of one of the zombies. There's only so much zombie killing that is fun, then it gets redundant.
Yes. The group moves on through the hallway and into a large room. At the other end of it, they can see an altar with a robed figure standing in front of it. There is what appears to be an energy dome around it, some kind of shield, perhaps. The robed figure turns to look at them. Oh, you people. It is the mage that hired them previously to dispatch the supposed necromancer.
What do you mean, you people? The dwarf says.
Simpletons, you don't understand true magic. Even the learned one over there with his books doesn't have the intrinsic understanding that we would.
We? Who's we?
Patrons of the dark arts, but it's above you. He shakes his head. But it doesn't matter. You're a little too late, and I don't have time to deal with you right now.
I told you there was a reason someone had us dispatch that good mage.
Yes, well, he could have interfered far too easily, so thank you for taking care of that for me. He smirks.
But now you're a good mage. Can't you deal with him, Phineas?
I'm a librarian. I'm not a mage. Did you notice how easily he wiped the floor with us? We only lucked out because a bookshelf fell on him. I'm learned, yes, but my magic is limited to the books.
Okay, then summon a bookshelf above him.
I don't think he'll have the ability to do that, he says, motioning toward the magic field around him.
Yes, unfortunately, this is a magic dampening field. It won't work in here.
So, we need to open this door, he says as he grabs the librarian.
It's not a door, it's a field that's not going to work.
Okay, puts him back down. So what's the plan? Do you guys know how to get through that thing?
Looking around, the druid spots something. I think the magic field is emanating from that. There's a small dragon statue he has next to him. If there might be a way to break that.
Are you serious? Isn't that the thing we fetched in our first quest together?
The druid smiles. Wow, you guys just helped him with everything, didn't you? Well, no matter.
No matter. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna rip his head off.
If I might point out, Telmiden, it was you who sent us on that quest.
That is true. We just got the job and sent you out. I apologize that for my part in helping this. Surely none of us were any the wiser.
Well, the way I look at it, he needed us to do all this. He couldn't do it himself, which means we're better than him. We got this.
True, true. From behind them in the hall, they can hear more moans of the zombies. Okay, you three take care of him. I'm going to hold them back, he says, and chants a spell to have vines block the way so the zombies cannot get through.
Good luck, druid.
You too as well, Hunter.
Well, if the only thing between us and him is that little statue, I'm gonna take care of the statue, Arliss says, stomping over towards the little statue.
No, it's not the only thing, the mage says, and then pricks his finger. Using the blood, he smears it around, and 3 portals appear, and a lesser demon comes out of each one, facing it against the 3 combatants.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting.
You had to provoke him, didn't you, Alashars?
You know what? Provoking is what I'm good at.
Touché.
3 of them, 3 of us. Everybody gets 1?
Seems rather obvious to me.
I'll go for the one on the right.
I'll take the one in the middle.
Then I guess I'll get the one on the left.
The one on the left begins moving toward Phineas.
All right. Let's see what we can do here. Phineas flips the page in the book and gets into a battle stance, summoning his default fireball. Well, old classics first, I suppose. He throws the fireball, but the demon dodges out of the way. It then throws a fireball of its own. Whoa! What? That was unexpected. All right, another classic. He flips the page and fires a lightning bolt. The lightning bolt clips the demon barely, but it takes minimal damage. It then fires one of its own. It's replicating my attacks. Mirror demon. I wonder. Let's see here. Phineas and the demon circle each other as he attempts to come up with something that won't just be thrown back at him. Let's Let's see. I wonder. That's it. It worked in the woods, maybe. Phineas flips a few more pages. I'm gonna have to do this quickly if I can. All right. Here goes nothing. Phineas summons another fireball, throws it. As the fireball is in the air, he spins around and casts the duplicating spell, planting a duplicate of himself where he was standing and dodging out of the way. The fireball ricochets back at the duplicate, blinking through it as the duplicate disappears. As it does, Phineas fires another electric bolt from an alternate position, which strikes the demon, knocking him to one knee. Okay, that worked, but he probably won't fall for it again. Let's see, something new. Well, I have been wanting to try this one of those books we retrieved. Let's see if this works. Phineas summons a wall of rock from the ground and pushes it toward the demon. It knocks him over, but dissipates too quickly. I knew I should have worked on that one more. The demon gets back to its feet and starts coming at Phineas. I wonder if I can. He waves his hand, lighting the light spell in his hand. The demon is momentarily blinded. He dissipates it, throws ice on the ground, and blows the demon into the wall. Well, some of the classics still work. The demon gets up from the wall, now looking angry. It runs at Phineas quickly. Oh no. I wonder. He lifts a few more pages, waves a hand, and all of a sudden Phineas disappears. The demon stops, confused. Phineas reappears behind him. So the teleporting works at least. Phineas summons the fireball and hits the demon in the back with it. The demon howls and falls over. Alright. Not bad. I think I've got this one. How are you guys doing?
The demon in the middle has charged the paladin already.
Alright, it's go time, Arliss says, preparing her sword and tossing her dented shield aside. A Naga! It's been a while since I fought one of these. Fast. Agile. About time I had a real challenge. The Naga swishes forward. Fast. So fast, Arliss says, barely dodging the Naga's trident stab. Ooh, this is going to be a workout. She jumps to the side a couple of times, narrowly dodging trident strikes and ignoring the Naga's hiss. Then she sees her moment and strikes. But the Naga is too fast and dodges out of the way. Damn it! Ooh. Arliss growls and grips her sword more tightly. Alright, first things first. She sets her shoulders, and as the Naga charges forward again, stabbing with the trident, she steps to the side and slices not at the Naga, but at the trident. Her sword hits the shaft and cracks it, but doesn't break it. The Naga hisses and pulls back slightly, giving Arliss a moment to resettle her grip on her sword. Oh yeah, try and stab me with that thing now, stupid snake. The Naga hisses and charges forward again. This time, when Arliss dodges, it's ready. The trident clips her shoulder, but Arliss avoids most of the damage by ducking and stabbing upwards. Her sword slips along the Naga's side, scoring it lightly, and blue ichor runs down the side. That'll slow you down a bit, you stupid snake. The Naga stabs downwards with the trident towards Arliss, and Arliss backsteps. The trident hits the ground, and the shaft shatters from the pressure and force of the blow. The Naga then lifts up the broken end of the trident and stares at it. Arliss takes her moment and strikes again, this time hitting the other side and deeper. The Naga slips backwards away, but Arliss charges forward, both hands on the hilt of her sword, and swings downward, clipping off the end of the Naga's tail. Oh, no, you don't. You don't get to get away that easy. The Naga hisses and throws the remains of the shaft at her. Arliss dodges out of the way and misses the follow-up blow. The Naga lands a solid scratch across her face. Ow! Ow! Arliss snarls and growls, a little bit of the dragon coming out in her, and swings her sword again, this time using all of her strength. She cuts a slice across the Naga's chest, deep, probably fatal. There! Back up off me, you stupid, ugly snake! Arliss takes a couple of steps back and stares as the Naga crumples. You're gonna have to do more than that if you're gonna stop me. All right. What's left?
We now cut over to Carden dealing with the demon on the right.
Cardell sees a small demon. He runs forward and, hobbles forward and punches him in the face. Boom! Knocking the demon backwards. Okay. That was pretty easy. The demon begins to laugh. As it touches the floor. It begins to absorb the same material as the floor and creates a shell around itself. Oh. That's not good. Cardell fires his arrow. It bounces off the rock that now covers the demon. Oh fuck. The demon smashes him in the face twice, then hits him in the stomach, flying him backwards. Fuck, this isn't good. He gets up and holds his stick in hand. He swings it towards the demon, smashing his stick across its head. Oh fuck. This is not good. This is not good at all. Okay. Think, what can I do here? He takes one more shot to fire his arrow again, steadying his breath. He fires it. The arrow flies through the air and smashes into the rock, shattering the arrow. Oh fuck. That won't work. The demon laughs as it runs forward and just smashes him again in the face and keeps punching him as he falls to the floor. Suddenly, woof, woof, his dog starts to bark. Run, boy. Save yourself, he warns. But the dog, out of loyalty to his master, keeps barking until the demon turns around. As the demon turns around, Cardell sees it, a comb where the rock emerged, with a tiny, small hole leading to its head. Oh my god. Clever dog, he says as he pulls out his bow and arrow, steadies it, and fires a shot. His arrow flies through the air, going through the hole directly, piercing through the demon's head. Okay, I can't feel my face. I have no stick to walk. And I'm coughing up blood. But I won.
The three lesser demons dispatched, the group then turns its attention toward the mage who is finishing up his ritual to become a lich. His appearance is starting to change already to that of a more skeletal nature.
That is not good.
See, I told you, you're just not good enough. I'm surprised that you defeated those demons, but once I'm done, you're not going to defeat me.
Arliss takes a moment, takes a deep breath, and begins to chant. Her hands glow, and she releases a healing spell. A powerful one that restores all three back to their full form. There we go.
Thank you.
Now then, let's take care of this lich bitch.
Thank you, he says as he begins to stand, leaning against the wall. Oh, god damn it, I still have a limp. Oh well, he says as he leans over towards the table and it's next to him and rips off its leg. Ugh. That'll do for now, he says, makeshifting a cane.
Yeah, my healing spells are good, but they're not quite that good. Sorry.
It's an old injury. It's an old injury, so I imagine it's probably expired for when people can heal it, sadly.
Alright, well, before I was so rudely interrupted before, Arliss glares at the transforming lich. Let's take care of this little shield dragon, why don't we? She stomps over to the little dragon statue, picks it up, and looks at it. Sorry, little brother, she says, and then turns and smashes it against the floor as hard as she can.
The statue explodes into several pieces as the field falls. The magic rune that Arlasheris had from an earlier encounter with the wizard in the tower has also crumbled to dust in her pocket and falls on the floor.
The rune permeated the field. That is clever. I did not see that coming.
Aww, it broke my shiny.
You need to get hold of some of his magic.
And yeah, I'm going to have to look him up later. That was impressive. But worry about your shiny later. We have more pressing problems.
True. Alright, field's down. How do we handle this thing?
We speak to it and reason with it as a rational human being. I'm gonna shoot an arrow.
The mostly lich former mage, now angered by the fact that his ritual might not be complete, has turned his full attention toward the group. That is going to be your last mistake.
So what's the plan, librarian?
I don't much have one. Luckily, the transformation isn't quite complete yet, which means, well, mage power will still be impressive, but at least the lich power will be limited for the time being. I'd say we do what we always do.
Fair enough.
Smashing sounds good to me.
Did you try lightning him?
I'll give it a shot. Let's see what works. Let's see what's effective, and maybe if we can get him distracted, I might be able to get to that book and reverse the incantation. No guarantees, though. This is magic beyond me.
We could always just burn the book.
That may work. That's not a terrible idea. There's likely an enchantment around it. Magic items don't destroy so easily, but we may be able to pull it off.
Well, I tell you what, he can't complete his spell if he's getting hit with the sword. So Why don't I take care of the distraction part? And the rest of you, you two, figure out what to do with the book. Arliss hefts her sword, glares at the Lich, and then charges forward.
That seems like a good plan.
Works for me. She is dragon bred. She'll be more protected against his magics than we will.
Okay, I say, let's look at the book and write down what you can. Then we'll destroy it. Because if you write down what you can, you'll have the spells. We can make you a god.
That book contains incredibly dark magic. You've seen what it already did to him. Dark magic like that has a habit of controlling you, warping your mind. One thing I've learned in my years of research. Always be cautious with dark magic. And that dark magic, particularly from an artifact like that, it's not worth the temptation it might persist.
Dark magic, good magic, it's all the same to me.
To you, perhaps, but not to a wielder.
Okay. Then, let's just say on fire.
We can try it.
Seeing the paladin charge forward, the Lich cackles. He then waves his hand and throws a fireball at her.
Arliss dodges the fireball, though an edge of it catches her and sets her clothes on fire. Fire! Ow! Ow! Oh! This shirt! Oh! The slime in my hair, the naga cutting my face, and now you're setting fire to my clothes. Okay, seriously, this is costing me more than I'm making. I am going to take it out of your undead hide. Arliss charges forward with her sword in both hands. Let's see how many spells you can cast while I'm shoving my sword down your throat. She swings, forcing the Lich back away from the altar and the table. Get that book and burn it already!
Understood. Phineas runs toward the book, with his own book in his hand, summoning a fireball and throwing it at the evil book on the altar.
No! The Lich dives forward and absorbs the energy out of the spell just before it hits the book. He then looks at the librarian and shakes his finger. Not likely. He picks up the book in one hand.
Okay, librarian. Get ready to fire a fireball into the air.
All right.
As he loads up his bow with multiple arrows, lifts him up again to make it rain fire. Light him up. He can't block them all.
Phineas throws a fireball into the air, igniting the arrows.
The flaming arrows crash down all around the Lich. He starts to cradle the book under him as he shields it with his body. Several arrows land into him and begin burning what's left of his flesh. He screams in pain.
That was more effective than I expected. Good.
He then roars back and blasts out a gust of wind, putting out the fire that's on him, but the arrows still protrude from his back.
He's really protective of that book. Must be his diary.
The Lich then summons up another gust of wind and sends it right at the hunter.
Look out!
Whoa! He says as he gets blown backwards. Wait a minute. Team, I believe I have an idea.
We're all ears.
He leans in and whispers to the other two so that the Lich himself wouldn't hear. Okay, Paladin, attack him with your full force. As you're doing that, I'll start firing arrows at him. While we're attacking him, Librarian, use your spell that you've used to make things invisible on his book. We might be able to confuse him enough to believe he's dropped it.
It's an interesting query, but he's still going to feel the book in his hand. Invisibility doesn't remove mass.
Make it float.
Levitation spell. That may work.
Float and invisible at the same time. If he believes he's dropped his book, he'll let his guard down.
It's a valid idea.
Anything's better than just standing around, Arliss says.
Let's do this for the memory of Paik. May she rest in peace.
As much as I know you wish it, she's not dead, Carden. Not that she didn't come close last week.
I believe she shapeshifted into a demon that you slayed.
Let's just focus on the task at hand.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Arliss hefts her sword. All right, me first. She charges forward and swings with both hands.
Pulls out his bows and arrows and begins firing towards the Lich at the same time she's swinging.
The Lich summons flame in his hand and crafts it in the vague form of a blade. He tries to deflect the sword and the arrows at the same time. But while holding the book in the other hand, he is somewhat distracted, and a few of the sword blows and arrows are getting through his defense.
All right, let's see if this works. Phineas flips a page and begins waving his hand. The evil book in the lich, the partial lich's hand turns invisible and floats just slightly above his hand out of reach. Phineas applies a true vision spell to his own eye so he can keep an eye on where the book is despite the spell.
Use your duplicate spell. Make a duplicate of the book across the room.
Right. Phineas proceeds with the duplicate spell and makes it appear as if the duplicate has flown from his hand and landed on the other side of the room.
Not so tough without your book, now are ya? Arliss taunts.
The Lich looks around slightly confused. What? No, how? That's not... He's angry and then casts a spell at the ground, shaking it, knocking the three from their feet.
Whoa!
Ah!
The Lich runs over to the other side of the room to try and pick up the fake book.
Begins firing his arrows quickly.
Now, Phineas! Burn it now!
Ah! Phineas, dropping his book in front of him, waves his left hand, revealing the real book, and with his right hand launches a fireball at it.
The fireball hits the book, and some of the magic dissipates for its own innate shielding, but the pages begin to burn slightly.
It's going to take more than one. I had a feeling there was some kind of magic protection on it.
Carve it up with your blade. You have a magic sword.
I'll keep him distracted. Burn the book!
All that.
Charges the Lich, flailing her sword to keep it away.
Or that. Phineas throws another fireball at the book.
No! The Lich screams, taking some of the sword blows and knocking Arlisharis away. He then uses wind to blow the book at him as the fireball hits it. The book is partially burned, but not quite enough, and he grabs it in his hands, trying to put out the flames.
Fires his arrows, aiming at the Lich's hands.
Arliss gets to her feet. Damn it! She swings her sword again, aiming for the Lich's legs.
The arrow goes through his hand, and he yelps, "Ah!" The sword then hits his legs, and he topples over, dropping the book on the floor.
Do it, librarian.
Perfect.
And if you can't burn it, freeze it in place.
That might work. Phineas picks his book back up off the floor and fires a cone of ice spell at the evil book on the other part of the floor.
I really hope that this works.
ice encases the book as the Lich runs over and begins trying to cast fire to melt the ice as quickly as he can. No, 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 no!
Arliss uses the moment of distraction to get in a good cut at the Lich's legs. Ha!
The Lich drops to one knee and angrily turns toward her and blasts her with a lightning spell. I've had enough out of you!
Now, he says, as he orders his dog to pounce onto the Lich, attacking at its throat.
The Lich begins yelling as he's rolling on the floor, trying madly to get the dog off of him. He eventually throws it off and then scrambles back to his feet and tries to crawl back to the book. No, no, so close! He begins trying to grab the book out of the ice and pull it out.
Close, but not close enough. Phineas lights a fireball, using the rolling motion to roll it at the Lich and the book.
The Lich instinctively jumps out of the way before realizing that he has now sacrificed the book for his own well-being. The fireball rolls through it and incinerates the last part of the book. No! The Lich begins yelling as the dark magics then leave his body, and he starts to revert back to his human form.
So do we kill him?
Yes. Kill him.
He's not dead. He's losing his dark magic.
I didn't say did we. I said do we kill him?
Sorry, hard to hear over his screaming.
I understand.
Don't
And that
worry.
was one vote for yes.
If you're feeling squeamish, I'm more than happy to take his head.
In this case, I'm outvoted. This mage is clearly nothing but trouble.
Do it.
Do what you have to.
My pleasure, Arliss says as she stalks forward, sword in hand. She stops in front of the Lich, looks down at his screaming form, and grins madly. This is for everything, she says, and then hefts her sword, aiming for his neck.
The Lich, still stunned from having all of his magic drained from him, is unable to stop it.
She swings, both hands on the hilt of her sword, and using all the force and strength of her half-dragon nature, cleanly cleaves off the Lich's head.
Good job. We did it, team.
Indeed.
Oh, that felt good.
We'd best check on Telmine. With the dark magic dissipated, those zombies should hopefully be gone.
Well, if you enjoyed that, we have a librarian you can kill.
Why would I kill him? He's been useful.
The druid comes up to the group. Wow, you sure took care of that. Obviously the zombies are gone now, and well, looks like you didn't need my help after all. You three are very, very capable.
4. Peg may have gone to get help, but she's an effective member of our team nonetheless.
That is true, and the druid turns toward the hallway as Peg and several members of the guild have come in. Well, there she is. Yes, the 4 of you are quite a team, I must say.
Indeed.
5. Don't forget Krull.
Of course.
Yes.
Although if I may posit you a suggestion, Telmine, after all of that, I highly recommend finding a large amount of gold and giving it to all the sheriffs before she kills us all.
Hey, I'm not bloodthirsty. I just like shiny things and getting paid.
The druid looks at the headless ex-mage. Yes, certainly not bloodthirsty. Well, don't worry. The fee for the uh, cave cleaning, as it were, should be collectible, and we'll see what the guild can scrounge up for dispatching of a lich, because that is a very big undertaking, and I will definitely do whatever I can to make sure you are adequately rewarded. He then looks at the paladin and nods. So, no killing me, okay?
I'm not gonna kill you. What is this? Oh, I lose my temper one time and suddenly I'm a bloodthirsty monster. You know what? I tell you what. Buy me a replacement shirt for this one that got burned. I'll call it even, just this one time.
The druid smirks. Okay.
Phineas, what's going to happen with the duplicate book?
Oh, I forgot. Phineas waves his hand and the duplicate book fades from existence.
Yeah, that could have been awkward.
Well, it's a duplicate only in appearance. It wouldn't have had any of the dark power of the original.
All he has to do is read it.
You're assuming there's anything more than gibberish written in it.
I don't know how magic works.
So
it's
I've
magic. I try not to explain it.
Sometimes that is wise.
But good job, team.
Indeed.
The group then turns and heads back to Paik, and all of them head back to the guild to collect their reward and probably a dinner for a job well done. The end.
Then Paik died 3 weeks later of AIDS.
Maybe.
Yay!
And then they all had shape-shifting armor. But there you have it. Final episode of Ruin Runners. Hope everyone enjoyed it so far. Come on back next week for the wrap-up episode where get to hear all kind of juicy tidbits and everyone says what they like, didn't like, and make fun of probably Pew and Jeff or something like we always do, and fun times.
Indeed.
So make sure to come back next week for that. Thank you very much for joining us, and good night.